This time, I'm up north visiting some family. I thought maybe I'd take you guys out on a walk with me as I'm just sort of sharing some meditations that have been on my mind regarding the Incarnation, what that means for church leadership and what it means as Christians. And so you can kind of see the trail there in front of me, and it's a beautiful, beautiful winter day here. But I was thinking about what the Incarnation actually means. In Philippians 2, it says about Christ that though he was in very nature God, he did not consider equality with God something to be taken advantage of, to be grasped, to be used for his own ends. So rightly, he had this type of authority. He should have been treated a certain type of way, and yet that was not the way that he insisted on being treated. And that's incredibly clear from what we look at when we look at the actual birth, the nativity. When Jesus, as the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Yahweh in the flesh, comes as a baby laid in a feeding trough meant for animals. And his birth is announced by angels in the sky to, of all people, shepherds in the middle of the night. Shepherds are, it's the lowliest of profession, or at least that's what I'm told by people who know what they're talking about. And the humility of God to come in such a way, I think that that's something that many of us meditate upon during Christmas, that God's humility, even though he is glorious, he condescended to us. But what does that mean for church leadership? I think it's interesting. The real pastors are the ones who come to be near those that they lead. They share their life with them. They open up their lives to those who are part of their congregations and those that they lead. This is what Christ has done for us. And in so doing, we as shepherds, as pastors, are emulating Jesus, the one who came to be near those that those that did not want to be near him, as evidenced by his crucifixion. And I think that that's incredibly fascinating when we think about Christ's humility in this. And I don't know, I think that we look at the landscape of modern church leadership and we see so many mega ministries, huge, larger than life platforms that are being built, even online, like this one that I'm on right now. I'm a podcaster. For most of you, I'm not your pastor. I will share devotional thoughts. I will call for accountability. I'll share truth to the best of my ability. But unless you are in my church, I'm not your pastor. And I would love to see next year the pastorate overtake the podcaster. I think I would love to see next year shepherds, real shepherds that know the people that they lead. I would love for the attention of the church to shift more locally and less globally. I don't think that podcasts are going away. I don't plan to shut mine down. But your pastor cares for you. A podcaster can't. It's not that podcasters don't care. It's just that they can't. They don't know you. And I think if we begin to substitute these types of relationships that are meant to be, they're meant to be life-giving, nurturing, real church where there's real communities with real shepherds. There's life on life, and the shepherd, by the way, is not more important than the rest of the people in the church. And you need to have those real relationships in real life that are life-giving, that are disciple-making, that cause you to seek after Jesus with all of your heart. We need that. I guess I get afraid when I see such a terminally online culture that real life seems to be happening more and more through these rectangles like the one I'm holding in front of my face right now. Or the computer screen or what have you. And that seems to be the place where real relationships are happening, at least the most meaningful conversations people seem to be having, they're having online. And we're losing touch with what it is to be like what Jesus did. He came and he dwelt among us in the flesh. And I don't know, I just think about that this Christmas. What does that mean? There's another thing that I've been meditating upon, and you guys forgive me, this is not like a whole episode. I'm just sort of bringing you with me and sharing some of my meditations. So hopefully that's all right. But I think about the way the church is to live in the world. Jesus, the Son of God, he came and he dwelt among his enemies. I wonder how many Christians are doing that, actually being around those that are their enemies. How often do you talk to people that you disagree with in a loving way? How often do you intend to spend time around those that you disagree with? Over Christmas, this is a great time. You might have relatives that kind of fit that bill, and maybe that would be a great opportunity to model Christ-like love. But man, this is something that I'm just really, I don't know. I don't want us to lose sight of what it is to be like Jesus in the modern world as Christians, especially after all these exposures. And there's no sign of them slowing down anytime soon. So many of them, not all, but many of them, are from people who they just don't live among the flock. And man, I want to be a shepherd that's like that, and in my own church. So for those of you who are like, hey, you're not part of my church, it's like you find a church with a pastor that loves God with all of his heart, that teaches the Bible, and that loves the sheep. And man, I just hope that that's something that we can sort of return to, versus the dream of fame and stars in our eyes of what could we do for God if we just became super famous. I just feel like that's a trap. Will people become famous as they serve God? I think so. I think it's just a matter of what's your goal. You look at Jesus, he was pretty famous. Paul was pretty famous. And people who do things for the Lord, they'll either become famous or infamous, depending on the call of God on their life. But maybe some of them will just be faithful to a local congregation, serving people, and have a healthy family, children that seek God, that love the Lord. And they'll die, and there will be 75 people at their funeral, all of them saying, "This man knew God," and all of heaven rejoicing. So man, that sounds like a win to me. So yeah, hey guys, see Lauren and a few people. Somebody said, can I recommend you 2 best Christian YouTube channels I've come across in the last 15 years? Yeah, sure. I mean, drop it in the comments. It's fine. But I'm not going to be on here very long. I was just sort of wanting to share a couple of my thoughts, and maybe just share this beautiful scenery here. It really is Really, really is nice. So yeah. Well, hey, God bless you guys. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I hope that I hope that you celebrate the incarnation of God in the flesh. So yeah. Yeah, crunchy snow. It is kind of crunchy. It just snowed this morning. So yeah. All right. Well, hey, God bless you guys. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna hop off here, go back inside, where it's not so freezing cold. But yeah. God bless you guys.